This house is over 360 years old.
Wow.
Beer, cigar, probably about. Working from home due to COVID. Lockdown.
On reading the title, St. Nicholas Abbey, you might be expecting to tour a monastery. I'm afraid that this isn't the monastery you have in mind. Built in 1658 by Colonel Benjamin Berringer, St. Nicholas Abbey is one of the island's oldest surviving plantations. This is the drawing room, which boasts of Georgian-style triple-arcaded portico and sash windows, which were added in 1746 and cedar paneling installed in 1898.
This house is over 360 years old.
Wow.
The walls are said to be about 3 feet thick. And upstairs there are 7 bedrooms, all fully furnished with insurance. Didn't give us clearance to take anyone upstairs, so there's no one upstairs.
Well, you mentioned it was originally from 1600s? Was that
So it was completed around that time.
what, as you
the
see
house.
today?
Yeah.
Wow.
So the only thing original to the house would be the walls
Yeah.
and the roof beams.
Okay.
Now thinking about the beams in the roof, there's no reinforced steel.
Okay.
So chances are having a lot of people go upstairs, you might come down quicker
Right.
than you got up. So no.
Find yourself suddenly in the dining room.
Yeah, you're out here. You're up here. Now, so of course insurance, being that no one lives inside the house, it's mostly a museum area. You're not going to see anyone coming down with their towel or anything, you'll be fine. So because it's a museum, insurance has to be involved. So, it is, it's an older house, there'll be a lot of liability with it. So the owner said, well, we're going to preserve upstairs as it is. So you're not allowed to go upstairs. Now, does anyone here believe in ghosts?
Totally.
There are no ghosts upstairs.
Sure.
At all, but there's something unusual upstairs. I want you all to know. We have 2 fireplaces. We're in Barbados. It doesn't snow, but the plans to build this house came from England and they built it anyway. So if Barbados ever decides to snow, I'm good. I'm good, alright? So there are no ghosts here. If you see a chair fly across the room, it's the wind. I work here. I'm not going to have you believe in ghosts. Okay, thank you.
This is Sir John Gay Allen, 1st Baronet and descendant of the first settlers on Barbados, and with whom Mount Gay Distilleries was named after. Larry Warren, current owner of St. Nicholas Abbey, a proud Barbadian architect. This Jacobean mansion features elegant curvilinear gables and ornamental detail, including 4 cornerstone chimneys and fireplaces in 2 of the upstairs bedrooms. Unusual elements for a Caribbean home, they were faithfully added in keeping with the plans thought to have been brought from England, where the Dutch influenced architectural style, which was popular at the time.
Not for you. Close it up. Let's look for that beer, cigar, probably about. Working from home due to COVID. Lockdown. This goes on. You can put your newspaper, butt water. It's adjustable. Renee Lamb, it's adjustable.
So this is like at that time the laptop desk.
Laptop.
It was the lazy boy.
This was the original lazy
That's
boy.
called one.
Yeah, but not this is your little home office right here. Not only that, if you need some more space. You're tired. You're working so hard from your chair. Pull the footrest out, press the button, this goes back into a bed, and the chair is on wheels. You can be rolled into another room. But there's no toilet, so at some point, you gotta get out. Now someone once said, once your aim is good, you never had to leave. But that's disgusting. Now ladies, it's called a gentleman's chair. It has nothing to do with us, which means you cannot sit. The chair is from 1936. That means you cannot sit. And if he sits in the chair now and ring the bell for you to push him, you have to push him straight through the window. Because we're in the 21st century. No longer works. Now we are in St. Peter. You got it correct, sir. I'm just trying to mess you up. Now this is where we are exactly. Now St. Andrew is not too bad because we're 400 acres. No, somewhere it's going to overlap a little bit. And here, Scotland District. Remember, the Irish and Scottish workers, poor wives, residing here and the hills similar to Scotland, so Scotland District. Now below, sugar plantations that they had on the island around 1825. This is pretty small, but you can see there were quite a lot. 90% of the sugar consumed in Europe, so this is normal. Now here's the thing, as a slave, you lived on the outskirts of the property and you often took the owner's last name. So Cumberbatch may not be a very common name in England, but it's one of the top 20 common last names in Barbados alone. That's a lot of Cumberbatches. Now in your tour guide book, in the second page, you're going to see there are some records. We have the actual records here from that time, around 1822 I believe. And that has a listing of 316 names. That's a lot, alright? So someone can see where, maybe who or where their last name originated from. You might inherit nothing, or you might get something, 1% chance, that's still enough, alright? Now out of all of this, there's only one single sugar plantation or factory that makes sugar. That's Portville, located in St. James. So no one makes sugar anymore. Here at St. Nicholas Abbey, even though we grow sugar cane, we make our from sugar cane syrup, which comes off before sugar.
This was known as an outhouse. Outhouses were in use in cities of developed countries like Australia well into the second half of the 20th century. They are still common in rural areas and also in cities of developing countries. The sandbox tree is located in the plantation stable yard and is over 400 years old. It's evergreen and indigenous to the Caribbean. Embracing the traditions that made Barbados rum famous over 350 years ago, the St. Nicholas Abbey distillery has been specially designed for handcrafting quality rum on an intimate scale.
So the oldest rum we have here is 23 years old. Our distillery was added in 2008. We started making rum in 2010. If you do the math. The oldest rum we should have here is 12, 13 years old. But the oldest rum we have is 23. Now that originally came from Four Squares, another distillery on the island, and we just aged and bottled it here. Now if you go to Four Squares, you may get a blended rum. Whereas they take maybe a quarter of an 18-year rum, 3/4 of a 5-year. Blend it together and call it an 18-year blended rum. Now it's not cheating, that's marketing, right? And it's going to be a little bit cheaper because you can stretch your rum that way. You don't have to wait full 18 years for rum. Whereas here at St. Nicholas Abbey, we make a single cask, which means whatever comes out of that barrel is what you bottle. We waited 23 years for our 23-year rum, and one barrel was completely empty. So imagine that's 23 years down the drain. So rum is a pretty big investment, and whereas we have a small distillery, we produce 50 barrels per year, and some distilleries very much make 50 barrels in one single day. It's tiny, and we make a single cask. So we focus on quality instead of quantity. So there is no competition between the other distilleries because each of them provides something different.
Annabelle, as she is affectionately nicknamed, is both a traditional pot, still and rectifying column. The copper vessels are essential for preserving the nuanced flavors of the fermentation process. The vapors interact with the copper and impart a smooth, silky feel, a hallmark of fine quality rum. The resulting product, aged in bourbon barrels, is a spirit of incomparable taste and quality. Each sip reflects time-honored tradition and expertise that is unsurpassed by larger distillation methods. The unblended spirit is hand-bottled straight from the barrel into an elegant glass decanter etched with an image of the great house. Sealed with a mahogany cork, symbolic of the trees planted on the plantation over 250 years ago, each decanter is engraved with both number and date. A personalized message may be added to create a unique gift.
Yeah, sip slowly. Alright, so
I personally don't drink, so it tasted like bitter medicine.
syrup, right? And then we made a fresh cane juice, and then we evaporated off the cane juice and made a syrup, right? And the syrup is the essence of our rum, you know? And so the white rum is actually the first distillation. So it starts white, it gets dark with age, right? Because inside the barrel is charred oak and charcoal as they filter, right? So the white rum comes off distilled at 92.5% alcohol, and then we bring it down to 63 to put in the barrel, where we have a 40 or 60%. It never touches the barrel, that goes straight into our white rum. Our white rum is called DJ rum. You know what DJ rum is?
That's exactly wrong.
It's good for mixing.
Oh dear.
Yeah, all day. Tip you later. So the white rum is good for mojitos or cocktails, that kind of thing, right? Alright, so our white rum is primarily for mixing, but you can sip it if your wife tells you to sip it, you sip it, you know? Alright? And so our 5-year-old rum is our first aged rum down on site. I have twin boys, Arthur and Henry. It's a skill, not a right. So my twins are in the corner, Arthur and Henry. And when they were born, we were releasing this rum, right? So I had an epiphany. You know what an epiphany is? Yeah, that's the stuff in Love and Nature, right? Alright, it's kind of funny. A pity laugh.
The site has a syrup plant which converts raw cane juice into very sweet syrup or fancy molasses, which is approximately 70% sugar. The juice is processed by the rolling filter on the lower level, then raised by vacuum to the boiler, where it is heated using the same steam supply as the mill. A bottle of 23-year matured rum can cost you as much as $700 US. Beyond the rum and sugar bond, are several lush gullies filled with giant mahogany trees, majestic cabbage palms, ancient silk cotton, and a wealth of flora and fauna. I hope you found this vlog informative. Thank you so much for watching.